Across the frozen tundra, silence reigns. Wind brushes the snow, leaving faint lines across a white horizon. Almost invisible, a shadow waits, the snowy owl. A ghost of the Arctic, hunter and sentinel. Its feathers are armor against the cold, layer upon layer, even covering its feet. In the vast frozen expanse of the high Arctic, where the wind sculpts the snow into an endless rolling sea, a silent monarch holds court. This is the realm of Bubo scandiacus, the snowy owl. It is an apparition of the tundra, a ghost of the north that materializes from the blizzard and vanishes just as quickly. Its presence is a testament to life's tenacity in one of Earth's most unforgiving landscapes, a symbol of endurance carved from ice and silence. Its gaze is ancient and unflinching. Luminous golden eyes fixed in their sockets see the world with an unnerving intensity, forcing the owl to swivel its head with an almost supernatural fluidity. This is a creature designed by its environment. The male, a vision of pure, immaculate white, becomes indistinguishable from a snow-covered mound. The female and her young wear a cryptic barring of dusky grey, a pattern that breaks up their outline against the mottled summer tundra. This is not merely colour, it is a cloak of invisibility woven from the very fabric of the Arctic. But its mastery extends beyond camouflage. With a wingspan that can stretch over 5 feet, it commands the sky with powerful, deliberate strokes capable of carrying it for miles over the barren terrain. Its talons are not just weapons, but essential tools for survival. Densely feathered right down to the tips, they serve as thermal boots, insulating the owl from the biting cold of the ice and snow upon which it may stand motionless for hours, a patient, white statue. This patience is powered by extraordinary sensory adaptations. The leading edges of its flight feathers are serrated, breaking up the flow of air to muffle any sound. It moves through the sky as a whisper. Its face, a perfect parabolic dish, funnels the faintest of sounds towards its ears. Hidden beneath the plumage, these ears are asymmetrically placed, allowing the owl to triangulate the source of a sound with pinpoint accuracy. It doesn't just hear a lemming rustling, it perceives its exact location deep beneath a blanket of snow. It is a hunter that sees with sound, a silent predator perfectly attuned to the hidden pulse of the Arctic. This is the tundra, treeless, endless, and for much of the year seemingly barren. It is a realm of profound silence and subtle shifts, governed by the sun's low arc across the horizon. For a few frantic weeks, summer brings a fleeting rush of life. Meltwater pools reflect the sky, and the permafrost softens just enough for resilient flowers like Arctic poppies and purple saxifrage to burst forth in a desperate, beautiful display. This is a compressed, urgent season, a brief window of abundance under a sun that never sets. But it is only an interlude. Winter is the true ruler of this land. It returns with an unforgiving certainty, stripping the landscape clean, locking the earth in ice, and draping the world in a uniform cloak of white. In this stark white world, a ghost resides, the snowy owl. Its plumage is a masterpiece of camouflage, rendering it unhidden yet unseen. It is a being born of winter, its dense feathers are thermal armor against temperatures that would freeze other creatures solid. Even its feet are cloaked in feathers, acting as both snowshoes and insulation. In a land where every calorie is precious, the owl is a master of conservation. Confident in its stillness, it can remain motionless for hours, a living statue, its patience a weapon as sharp as its talons. This stillness is not idleness, it is a state of supreme awareness, a silent hunt in a silent world. To perceive this world, the snowy owl relies on extraordinary senses. Its eyes are not spheres, but enormous fixed cylinders, more like twin telescopes built to gather every available photon of light in the dim Arctic twilight. Because they are fixed in their sockets, the owl is unable to roll them. Instead, it maps its surroundings with sweeping, deliberate head turns. This incredible flexibility, a rotation of up to 270 degrees, is made possible by a unique skeletal structure. 14 vertebrae in its neck, double the number a human possesses. Every angle is a calculation, but vision, however powerful, is only part of its sensory arsenal. Its true advantage lies in its hearing. The owl's wide, flat face is a highly sensitive satellite dish. The feathers of the facial ruff are acoustically engineered to funnel the faintest rustle or squeak towards its hidden ears. These ear openings are asymmetrical, one is higher than the other. This subtle difference allows the owl to triangulate the source of a sound with pinpoint accuracy, creating a three-dimensional map of the world, built not of light but of vibration. It can hear the furtive movements of its prey, even when they are hidden deep beneath a thick blanket of snow. When it strikes, it does so with the silence of a falling snowflake. Every element of its wing is designed for quiet. A massive wingspan, relative to its body weight, allows for slow, buoyant flight. The leading edge of its primary feathers is serrated like a comb, breaking up the turbulence that creates the characteristic whoosh of other birds. The wing's surface itself has a soft, velvety texture that absorbs any residual sound. The result is a predator that materializes from nowhere, leaving its prey unaware until the moment its shadow becomes the strike. The snowy owl's entire existence, its survival, its migrations, its very numbers, is inextricably tied to the fate of one small creature, the lemming. These rodents are the engine of the Arctic food web. They live out their lives in the Subnivian zone, a secret world of tunnels beneath the snow, insulated from the lethal cold above. Their populations are famously cyclical, prone to dramatic booms and busts that ripple through the entire ecosystem. In years of plenty, the tundra is alive with them. For the owls, it is a time of extraordinary abundance. Nests are many and the young abound. But the boom never lasts. When the lemming population inevitably crashes, the tundra falls eerily silent. For the owls, it is a catastrophe. In these lean years, they become nomads. They undertake massive, unpredictable journeys south, a phenomenon known as an eruption. It is not a true migration, but an exodus driven by hunger. They appear as spectral visitors in unfamiliar landscapes, searching for new hunting grounds along coastlines, prairies, and even the fringes of human cities, facing new dangers in a world not their own. But in the Arctic, with the return of the spring light, the cycle begins anew for those who have endured. The males lay claim to territories with spectacular aerial displays rising and falling in the sky, their wing claps echoing across the tundra. He presents his chosen female with prey. This is not just a gift, it is a demonstration of his skill as a hunter, a solemn promise that he can provide for a family. She accepts, and together they select a nest site. She tests the ground, usually on a high, dry hummock with a commanding view, scraping a shallow bowl, nest enough for the Arctic. The size of her clutch is a direct measure of her faith in the season ahead. It may hold just 2 or 3 eggs in a poor year, or more than 10 in years of lemming abundance. Through the endless daylight of the Arctic summer, the female broods, a constant, watchful presence. She relies entirely on her mate. The male stands guard, a sentinel of white, hunting tirelessly and defending their territory with fierce determination against Arctic foxes and predatory jaegers. The eggs hatch one by one, creating a natural hierarchy within the brood. This staggered hatching is a brutal but effective strategy. In lean times, only the oldest and strongest chicks may survive. The young owlets grow quickly, and long before they can fly, they leave the relative safety of the nest. They scatter across the tundra floor, their mottled grey feathers providing perfect camouflage against the rocks and lichen. Here they wait, little bundles of patience for their parents to return with the food that fuels their rapid growth. It is the culmination of a life lived on the edge, a triumph of adaptation in a land of beautiful, brutal extremes. To hunt, she becomes a living instrument attuned to the world beneath the snow. She hovers like a compass needle suspended between sky and earth, her being focused downward. This is not a hunt of sight, but of sound. Her facial disc, a parabolic dish of stiff feathers, funnels the faintest acoustics toward asymmetrical ear openings. One ear higher than the other, she triangulates sound with breathtaking precision. She is listening for the nearly imperceptible rustle of a lemming moving through its Subnivian tunnels. It's a whisper of life, betrayed to the master of Arctic silence. Once the location is fixed, the decision is instant, then a vertical plunge, a controlled, aerodynamic stoop. Wings fold back as she becomes a feathered javelin aimed at a target she cannot see. The impact is explosive. Snow erupts in a crystalline plume. Her powerful feet punch through the hardened crust, and needle-sharp talons find their mark. Prey is silenced. The cycle continues. The snowy owl's plumage is more than camouflage. It is a living chronicle of age, sex, and history. The purest white belongs to the mature male. As he ages, he sheds the dark markings of his youth, his feathers bleaching under the Arctic sun until he becomes an almost spectral figure. This immaculate coat is a badge of honor, a signal of fitness. Females, in contrast, retain their dark, decisive barring. This pattern provides essential camouflage as she incubates eggs on the open tundra. when the ground is a mottled tapestry of rock, lichen and plants. The youngest owls are the most heavily marked. Juveniles are mottled in heavy flecks of grey and brown, a practical coat that helps them blend into their natal ground, hiding them from predators. Each snowy owl wears winter in a different script, its feathers telling a unique story of survival. Most owls are creatures of the night, their biology woven into darkness, but the snowy owl breaks this rule. Here, in the high Arctic, night dissolves for months. The summer sun circles the horizon without setting, bathing the tundra in continuous daylight. To survive, the snowy owl adapted, becoming a master of the light. It thrives in the full glare of the sun, an Arctic exception. Its stunning yellow eyes are equipped with pupils that can constrict to tiny pinpricks, protecting them from the brightness while allowing for sharp vision. They are opportunistic, their hunting schedule dictated not by the clock but by the activity of their prey. Whether at high noon or in the glow of the midnight sun, if a lemming is stirring, the owl is ready. While they are icons of the far north, their presence isn't confined to the Arctic Circle. Some winters, driven by their food supply, owls spill south in dramatic events known as eruptions. These are not migrations, but dispersals tied to the population cycles of lemmings. In years when lemmings boom, owl pairs raise large broods. The following winter, this new generation of young hunters must fan out across the continent for territory and food. Suddenly they appear in places that seem utterly alien. They materialize in cities and on prairies. They perch on piers scanning coastal waters. They adopt stadium lights as observation posts, their white forms glowing under the artificial glare. They even settle on airport runways, the wide, flat, treeless expanses an echo of their native tundra. They are not lost, they are pioneers, expanding their map, demonstrating remarkable adaptability. Each owl is a wild ambassador from a world of ice and snow. More than any other creature, the snowy owl embodies the spirit of the north. Its profound silence, its immense reach, its relentless cycles of feast and famine. It is a living barometer of this fragile ecosystem, its fortunes linked to the health of the tundra. A hunter in daylight, a ghost in white, it moves through the landscape with a quiet authority, but this ancient world is changing. As the climate warms, the very foundation of their existence, the permafrost, the balance of predator and prey, is under threat. Yet the owl remains. Across tundra and time it waits, it watches, it endures. It is a symbol of wildness, a testament to the power of adaptation, and a silent guardian of the planet's last great wilderness. Its gaze holds the wisdom of ages, a final piercing look that asks us to protect the world it represents.